should Marcus Rashford be a viable option, Mr. Danny Murphy, for Arsenal sometime this summer? Because it's been pointed out, one or two media outlets over the weekend were touching on this, the Gunners are short of striking options with the departure, of course, to Barcelona of Aubameyang, and now Lacazette and Nketiah are out of contract in the summer. Rashford, we know, has fallen out of favour at Old Trafford. Hence, does Marcus get his move? And would Arsenal be a berth, do you think? A likely destination?
I think it's highly unlikely, although if I was Arsenal, I'd love to get Marcus Rashford through the door because he'd add quality to their front line, definitely. Absolutely no doubt about that. But Manchester United at the moment going to be, we know they're going to have a new manager.
Yep.
And I would be absolutely gobsmacked if the manager coming in didn't want to take Rashford and try and work with him because of the ability and talent he's got. Yes, he's having a bad time. But the last 2 seasons, 21 goals, 22 goals. He's a 1 in 3 career stats goals. You could argue he's got the ability to be better than that, and I think he would be if he played down the middle more. More often than not, he plays out wide, and 1 in 3 from out wide is pretty good. I mean, you're not comparing yourself to Salah, but who does when you're playing wide? So, yeah, in answer to your question, Arsenal, 100%. If they've got a chance, go and get him.
Yeah. I mean, various Arsenal, I'm looking at some of the messages that are coming in. Is he good enough for us, say, Arsenal fans? Yeah. Is he what they would want at this time?
Well, he's at a good age.
No,
but he's having a dip. I mean, he's shown for many years he's capable of playing at the top level, international football and for Manchester United. So going to Arsenal's not going to faze him. He's a goal threat, and he would add great competition to that forward line because they haven't got great strength and depth. Arsenal, it's been one of their problems, hasn't it? And with Lacazette and Nketiah both going, looks like they're both going because they haven't signed new deals. They're going to need some bodies through the door.
Yeah, I know you and I have spoken about Rashford before, Sam.
Yes.
To summarise your view, and I think I'm right about this, you don't think he's as good as he's been made out to be.
I think he's a very good player, but I think he's been elevated to heights that he's not at. And to then be judged by those heights is probably slightly unfair on the lad. I don't think he's doing what he should be doing at this moment in time, and I don't think the stuff that's coming out of his camp, one way or another, whether it's being indexed to him or other people speaking on his behalf about leaving Manchester United, is probably the right thought process. Gary Neville called it out correctly the other day, and Wayne Rooney's done the same thing, which is, this is about you. This is not about what other people aren't doing for you, and this is not about a moment in time where you find an alternative solution to a problem. You are playing for arguably the most iconic football club in world football. They're going for a difficult period. In the 5 years that he's come to public attention, he has played in a quite poor Manchester United side for most of it. So with that in mind, it's very difficult to actually understand what level he's at, because United have been a poor side, irrespective of finishing second in the league last year.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I don't see him going to Arsenal. I don't see why he'd want to go to Arsenal, given the fact that there are opportunities for him to lay claim at United with a new manager. I suspect he'll want to hear from a new manager that, in fact, he's going to be patronised and developed. And if he doesn't hear that, then maybe we'll be talking about him leaving Man United. But it's difficult to conceive. I know you see situations like Robin van Persie going from Arsenal to Manchester United, and I know you've seen Danny Welbeck going the other way, but there were reasons behind those deals. This boy's under contract, a part of a youth development process that at United take a great deal of pride in, albeit they nick it from most other clubs as well. But I just don't see this a transaction that's really going to happen.
I think we're also talking about someone who's a proper Man U boy in terms of he supports the club, he's been there since he was a kid. I think it would be last resort for him. So I agree with most of what Simon said there. I mean, why? Yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily hold on to it. Look at Grealish at Villa.
It's true.
It's true. But Villa isn't Manchester United. Manchester United are going to push to try and be the best team in Europe again over the next few years. That's what they're going to aim to do. Whether they do or not is a different question. And it's certainly a project that a lot of players would want to be part of.
But they've been trying to do that for the last 5 years.
I know they have.
They've been trying to do that economically as well.
But you say it's a blip, Danny. I mean, Spurs Andrew's saying this is Dele Alli take two. A blip, maybe a blip. But this is going on too long.
No, look.
Is the hunger still there?
I think he's having he's a lack of confidence at the moment. He's mentally and physically at a low point, and chicken and egg with those two affecting each other in some ways. But I just said the last 2 seasons, 22 and 21 goals. You have to be a talented player to do that at Manchester United, and he's a 1 in 3 guy. Now, if you have that type of player available, who's a great age, super athlete, great talent, If you were Arsenal, why wouldn't you try and get him?
Yeah, but that was
Where
then.
did they get him?
That was then. This is now. He scored 5 in all competition this season.
Yeah, so we're talking about out of the last 4 or 5 seasons, this is his first season where he's had a real dip in the road. And a good manager and a good coach should be able to help him, and him help himself, as Simon alluded to earlier. He needs to change focus a little bit and dig in. But between him and a good coach, there's no reason why he can't elevate himself back to the position. It wouldn't surprise me to see Rashford kick on again.
Is it not the case, though, Danny, that if ever a player needs a strong end to a season, it's Rashford?
I think it's more important he has a strong start to the next one.
Given the opportunity.
Given the date.
When you've got a new guy in charge at United.
Given the date of the World Cup. And in terms of, yes, you better start in the season well than ending one well.
At this point in the proceedings, he doesn't go to Qatar, does he?
No.
But only he has got a chance of getting himself to Qatar and changing that.
Yeah, of course he has.
Yeah. Do you think he'll get there?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think a new coach would be able. I think it's new start of the season, a summer break. I think he'll be. I think
he
he'll
makes the cut, makes the England squad.
Yeah, I think he will. Got a feeling.
Yeah, he's going to have to go somewhere.
There's only 2 answers, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sounded like he didn't want to hear the first, but yeah.
I'm surprised. I must admit, I'm surprised he's going to have to turn it around big time.
Yeah, but he's capable.
Right,
he's an impact player. He's capable.
Yeah.
If he comes back fit, fresh, hungry, new coach, lease of life, gives him the platform, off you go. I start the season well, bam. Why not?
I mean, I just look at it and say he's a product of an environment that's been not properly managed for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so out of that environment has come choices that he's made, attitudes that have been ingrained in some of these players. How many of these Manchester United players, if any, can we look at over the last 4 years and say have improved? So that then looks at the fabric of Manchester United. I'm not sure where Danny gets his goal-scoring record from, because if you look at his goal-scoring record, he scored 10 in 33 games in 18-19, 17 in 31 in the Premier League in 19-20.
You're just looking at your league goals, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's the bread and butter, isn't it? I mean, league goals is the bread and butter.
Well, I think
United
you're
are trying
talking
to be
4 and 11 in the last 2 seasons.
Well,
we talked about 11 and 37 last year. He doesn't score many goals.
No.
He doesn't contribute a lot to the team. And ultimately, at this moment in time, he has to get himself together psychologically. His talent will either reach the level that we think it's at or not. Where we're talking about this moment in time is, I think the environment he's playing in under Ralph Rangnick is hurting him, because he's been in such an environment for 3 years where he's been allowed to do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And now there's a regime that's trying to enforce a change. It isn't working either. So I don't know what the future holds for Marcus Rashford, but I don't think in any immediacy it holds any bearing up towards the England setup. I think he's going to have to move mountains, despite the fact that there's this enormous patronage that Southgate has. And that will be patronising something that isn't based upon merit. And then you're going to start getting into tournaments with a substandard squad.
Sure.
Which is bigger, competing or patronage?
And we know your love secretly of United. That's why you want them there. United players.
Do you know what? On a serious note, I've liked Rashford from day one. I don't know if you remember the games. Well, you will, Simon, the cup final when he played up front on his own. Lukaku was benched. When I think it was Mourinho was in charge, maybe, or Van Gaal, I can't remember, against Palace. Yeah. And I saw a talent, like this mature performance of somebody who's hungry, had ability, he's quick, good decision making.
Yeah.
And I always believed. Well, as Simon alluded,
the influences of football, outside influences, people distracting him reading his own press, being caught up in a culture that isn't the right culture, all of those things.
Yeah, all of those things, but also the leadership and guidance within the club while that's going on, and that's really, really important. I would have never made it. I talked about Julio on here before. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made the level at Liverpool. He helped me achieve my talent. Sometimes you need some guidance. Yeah. For a few years, he's been, as I say, doing what he wants. He's not been particularly guided the right way. The whole club's gone.
So if the right man comes into United, it might change for him.
Yeah, I think the right coach can really get a tune out of him, because we're not talking about his ability.
Sure, but you still think he makes Qatar?
Yeah, I do. Got a feeling.
We'll see. Rashford got a lot to do.